episode of the Nigeria in Focus show, a show where we get to discuss topical issues affecting the nation. My name is Bukola Adimula, and it's a pleasure to be your host again for today. Our topic for this episode is technology in focus. In this episode, we are going to dive into the art of innovation, uncover fascinating stories and development that can help shape Nigeria's technological future. With me today are two tech experts who are going to provide insight into how technology can improve life and help grow the nation's economy. Before we dive into the discussion, I will give my guests the pleasure to introduce themselves.
Okay, thank you, Bukola. My name is Michael Oyedikachi. I'm a software developer with specialty in mobile app development. I have a couple of apps on both iOS and Play Store, and one of them being YouBuy Pro and YouBuy Customer, which is an online marketplace where we connect both artisans and professionals to a pool of customers that need their services. I am also a creative designer with Ekidian Institute USA, and I have experience with the renewable energy industry, where I've worked with companies that provide renewable energy to rural areas where they are needed. Thank you.
Thank you, Bukola, for having me here today. My name is Damilola Adewole, and I'm the lead consultant at Luwada Tech Limited, a Google for Education partner in Africa. We help schools to integrate technology into learning and teaching, most especially Google for Education tools, which include Google Workspace for Education, Chromebook, Chrome Education Upgrade that help to provide a safer learning digital environment for kids in school, and also provide adaptive learning and boost student learning outcome. I'm also a Google Cloud certified professional Google Workspace administrator. I advocate for the use of Google Workspace toolset for collaboration and to boost productivity in organizations.
As I will always say before my conversation, we have a balanced guest. We have a guest that use technology in education, and we have another guest that use technology in, let me just say, employment, connect professionals together in employment. Like that. Thank you so much for joining us again today, Michael. Thanks so much for joining us, Damilola. Um, Starting with you, Michael, can you just give us a general overview of innovation and technology in Nigeria? How far we have gone compared to where we were before?
Okay, in the past decades, Nigeria have known a tremendous growth in technology, and Nigeria can be simply regarded as a startup ecosystem. So, in that there are a number of startups that have come up, and they become, a number of them have even tried, and they've gained even global recognition. So, Nigeria, in summary, have noticed, have had a quite number of startups coming up. So,
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And from your angle, Damilola, in respect to education, how far do you think we have gone with using technology?
I think we've really improved because we have a lot of startup companies like Edbase who have created a school learning management system for school administrators to actually visualize the environment. We also have startup companies like ULesson that are creating apps for both primary, junior secondary and secondary education in Africa for students to learn. So we really, and these startup companies, they've also gained recognition from both local and foreign investors. So in all, we are actually improving. We've improved compared to where we were before. Something let's say maybe before COVID-19.
Oh, so you're trying to say all kind of improvement that came was because of the COVID and everything?
No, COVID-19 actually made the educational institution unprepared. But after that COVID-19, a lot of improvements have been made in the education technology sector. Many startup companies and entrepreneurs are actually into that sector working together.
Thank you so much. Still coming back to you again, Damilola, because I mean we need technology in education. So, what do you think are the challenges that the educational sector face when it comes to using technology to improve knowledge for students in Nigeria, especially?
Though we have a lot of challenges at hand, but the most important one is lack of infrastructure. And when I say lack of infrastructure, I mean electricity, access to internet. You know, all these things when they are not readily available, they will not make the use of technology in education to be possible. Also, trained personnel, individual that need to use this tool. Yeah, there's need for us to equip them. So definitely these areas, we still have more to do in these areas that I've mentioned.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. I mean, even though we have the technology, you will agree with me that Nigeria doesn't have a stable light. So, from my angle, I mean, technology, we need light for that.
Of course, of course.
Michael, what are the most exciting transformation you think Nigeria is currently experiencing when it comes to technology? Companies are coming up with innovative ideas using technology. Can you just share some stories with us?
Yeah, the most exciting I think for me has been within the fintech space. A number of fintech startups have come up within 5 years, 10 years, and they've grown into what I can even call a unicorn. We have Flutterwave there, and Flutterwave was founded I think around 2016, sorry. And Flutterwave have gone beyond Nigeria into African countries, and even in the world they are recognized. Not just Flutterwave, we also have Paystack. Paystack was recently bought by Stripe for over, I think up to more than $1 billion. So this is just kind of a global, let's say, a global recognition and approval of fintech startups that started in Nigeria. So I think in the fintech space we are doing wonderfully well. Then recently I think I also heard of Touch and Pay. Touch and Pay is they designed a solution where you can with a card like touch and you make payments. So like this solution has gotten to help in a way that even in places where there is power issues and internet issues, payment for small transactions can actually be carried out, and it's massive. So it's interesting, and you see these companies within a few years they've gotten a number of users, and they are having a lot of investments and a lot of cash inflow. So in the fintech space, Nigeria is doing very well.
I mean, recently I was discussing with someone, and I was like, I think East Africa is actually having more conducive policy that is growing their technology infrastructure and everything. And he mentioned something about, though they may have it, but he still think that Nigeria doesn't have that much policy that kind of like give free hands to these people in this space. But at the same time, it is the entrepreneurial spirit, that was what he used. That kind of just, Nigerians are just making waves in Africa generally when it comes to this fintech sector. From your angle, how do you see that statement? Do you think it's
I think it's true. It's true because the truth is that as a Nigerian, with the situation of our country, we know how our government, how our infrastructures are, how our power is so unreliable. So the amount of work it will take for you to achieve the same amount of progress in some other advanced country or countries where their policies are favorable, you do like ×2 of that if you're in Nigeria in order to actually get to the same like goals or mark. So, but the truth is that every Nigerian, I think we have this resilient spirit, so that we don't take no for an answer. We always put in our possible best, and no matter the situation, we always feel like we can conquer. And I think it's a good thing that Nigerians have, and has helped us to come this far, even in the global space.
Thank you so much for that contribution. What do you have to add concerning the entrepreneurial spirit and Damilola?
Before I want to take us back a little bit about the most exciting innovation in Nigeria. So for me, I would say is education technology, because we all have Nigerians now have the ability now to monetize their knowledge, teach what they know, and we have platforms that support that. We have Seller.com, we have coppercourse.com. All these platforms allow individuals to teach what they already know. So it's like online learning for them and they get a source of income from that place. So for me, I think that opportunity for individuals to monetize their knowledge is really exciting in the tech space. And back to
the entrepreneurial spirit.
We know that as Nigerians, we are hustlers actually. And it is evident in any way you find Nigeria who will try. We have this creativity and resilience in us, and we are determined to succeed in whatever we are doing, wherever we find ourselves. And this, you've seen the entrepreneurs rising beyond all these challenges, lack of infrastructure, lack of funding, and in different areas, the skill gap, and we are even able to do more compared to people who really have more than what is available to us in Nigeria.
Thank you so much for that, Damilola. Nigeria are really hustlers. Like, they just find a way. We just find a way to strive in that kind of environment that other people cannot ignore. But we just find a way. I don't know if it's a good or bad one, but I mean, that is another discussion for another day. Thank you so much for that contribution. My question again to you, Damilola, is how can technology solve the problem? Unemployment is an issue in this country, although government says it has come down to 4.something%. How do you think technology can solve the issue of unemployment for young Nigerians, and how can they benefit from this tech ecosystem?
Okay. Thank you for that question. When it comes to the technology
solving unemployment,
when it comes to technology solving unemployment, you will agree with me that technology has the fastest growing rate in the world, not only in Nigeria. So with this, it has provided opportunity for young Nigerians to be able to pick a career in technology. That's why you are going to see people saying, I'm switching to tech, I want to go and learn tech. Learning tech or switching to tech doesn't have to be coding or troubleshooting or designing something. People actually create content, and they are using all these technology tools to do it. Thereby they are empowering themselves and getting themselves employed. Also, we should look at the way young Nigerians now are using social media in creating content. This in a number of ways has also created employment for some Nigerians. Also, there is we also have it also provides young Nigerians availability to connect and innovate with anybody outside the country. People are taking up remote work if they have the skill. Then online learning something on YouTube or maybe on Udemy also provide them the opportunity to either reskill or upskill the knowledge that they may have from school. So all these ones are better preparing Nigeria to be able to take up job. Even if they can't find a job in a particular industry, they can take up a freelance job, you understand, and start doing what they already learned. They can start doing and providing solutions using the knowledge they've already acquired from all these online learning and tutorials that they have been part of it.
Yeah, okay. I want to say something in that. I did mention that in my introduction. I studied engineering, so I graduated. I don't even know where to start, but luckily for me, while I just want to talk how technology can help solve unemployment. Luckily for me, I had passions for computers, and I loved computers right from my. And again, like I said, luckily I had the opportunity to be introduced to computers early enough. My uncle got me a laptop and enrolled me for a training center. So I discovered that passion for creative designs from there. And when I finished from the university, instead of I applied to know if I can get something. But even while I was doing that, I just started with what I already have, and I was pretty good in that. So I started making designs for churches and for a number of organizations that contacted me, and they loved it. Also, through that means I started training some people. Like I know a number of people that have learned some of those creative designs from me, and they don't have any other job. They just do creative design. Some of them are making far much money than I have because they had connections. You get. So this is how technology can help solve employment for us. Like technology had a way of empowering those who just with a little system with computer, you can't even say you're unemployed, because the amount of money sometimes you make from just having a system, even those who are employed in the government are not paid such amount. So technology has come to our rescue.
Back to you again, as an app developer, what are the apps that you think young people can, key into in Nigeria? to solve the issue of unemployment? Maybe app that, just like your you buy app you said, that connects professionals and talent.
Yeah.
Maybe other apps that young Nigerians that want to go into the tech system can use to learn, and the ones that are maybe sourcing for freelance jobs, tech related jobs that they can use.
Okay. Basically, for me, I think it all starts from learning. So, what I would say is there are apps that are there that will help you learn, because you need to actually have a skill before you even talk of getting employment through these technologies. So I know of Udemy, and you can actually go to Udemy, and maybe there are some courses that are free and you can pay for some. I know of udacity.com. They have a number of free courses on app development, even a lot of things are tech related. Also, there is plural sites. Okay, basically these ones are the ones that I used in that helped shape my career in app development. So udacity.com, they have a number of free apps, and Udemy, and also plural sites. And occasionally, Google also sometimes provide free scholarship to train Africans in all these technological career skill, and if once you see any of those ones, you can always apply. So for the apps, for me, I think it's more of the ones that you have to learn. Udemy, Udacity.
Okay. And for the ones that connect professionals.
Yeah. Secondly, for the ones that connect professionals, yeah. So you can actually check You Buy Services and have a solution that help connect professionals and artisans, no matter what you do. So all you just need to is enroll, and we have a pool of customers that when a customer needs a service, they kind of place a job or a tax. It's more of like an advanced Nigerian form of the what was it called? I've forgotten. But but what you just do is when the customers place their tax, and you being a verified You Buy service artisan or professional, you bid for that tax, state the amount of.
Oh, like Upwork.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to mention. Yeah, so you place the amount you want to that you can use to do that job, and if the customer is pleased with you, yeah,
oh,
you get
wow.
hired.
That's a good one. Like in Nigeria type of Upwork.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much. Nigerians need that because Upwork is stressful for Nigerians already.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So coming back to you, in the beginning you were mentioning something about fintechs, making waves in the technology industry.
Yeah.
What are the revolutionary innovations that these fintechs have done that have changed the financial services in Nigeria?
Okay, I think the most important one is ease of payment. Like these fintechs, they've kind of made payments, transactions, even little transactions, very easy. Like we've seen that, especially it's as if a number of them also gained momentum during the cash crunch when we had issues with the availability of cash. We noticed that even our banks were failing us. So, but we had OPay, PAMPay, and the rest of them. They were doing fine. Like to the extent that I was surprised to see like a road seller like that is hawking something having like you pay it, you get it. So the ease at which I think I'll call it financial inclusion. So these fintechs they've helped reach the unbanked areas, rural areas where normally there is no bank, there is no way they have all the services that banks provide, they don't have, it's not available to them. But these fintechs, in a way, have brought it closer to them. So I also think they've also done a good thing in financial intelligence, and we have Igivest to an extent. They help you save money. Like initially in the old where we just maybe have a box where you just put this money,
Yeah.
but they've designed solutions that help you save money better and some of them even help you make better financial decisions depending on the amount of money you earn.
Yeah, thank you so much. I love the points you made about this fintech taking this technology and innovation into the rural place.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time we kind of just focus on the busy um, communities in Nigeria, the busy one, the urban type, not the urban places,
Yeah.
not the rural places. So it's good, and we saw a lot of that. I mean, even at Bokima,
Yeah.
you want to buy food, you will transfer the money.
Yeah.
So it's like that. It doesn't mind. I mean, it's good to see how far Nigeria have gone in using technology and innovation. Still to you, Damilola mentioned some challenges that the tech ecosystem are facing at the beginning.
Okay.
From your angle, what do you have to add to that? And how do you think this problem can be solved?
Okay. See, one of the major issues we have in the technological space is uh, our policies and the government policies to an extent are not so favorable to startups. You notice that like a lot of startups that started in Nigeria are not Nigerian companies. That's sad to say. You see a lot of them, they are registered in US and Delaware and stuff because the policies in those countries are very favorable and they are trustworthy. They know that the government can just wake up one day and just do anything. And it also, so another issue that startups have is the funding constraints in the country. It's another thing, and that's also one of the reasons why some of these startups prefer to register their companies abroad because investors trust. When you said the company is registered in the US, for instance, investors they trust US policies and they know if they put their money in a company that is in the US, it's safe, kind of. So they are sure that the government will not just wake up one day and just make one policy like that. And a lot of guys they have intelligent solutions and very wonderful things out there, but if there is no funding, we can't really make headway. And okay, I think I also use this opportunity to appreciate the Kidia Capitals. I think recently they were graded like the fourth highest investors in startups in Africa.
Oh, wow.
So, and this is basically owned by a Nigerian, started by a Nigerian, by Professor Ndubisi Ekekwe. So funding is another issue that startups face. Then, lastly, I will talk of our infrastructures and like our electricity, our roads. They affect everything. Power. You see the cost of diesel now, cost of fuel, and our economy is driven highly by all this. It requires power, and the major source of power it's for us now for businesses are from petroleum and diesel and stuff. And with the subsidy issue, it's also have become an issue. So the roads are not so good, and those who are in logistics and transportation have faced a lot of issues.